Hi, it's your gal Leah from Your Relaxed Gal, and I'm going to share with you in this video something that I recently learned about my hair, something that I've been trying to figure out for months. This thing that I was trying to figure out has been causing my hair to have breakage. Like, my hair has broken off quite extensively in all different kinds of places. It got to the point where I was literally thinking I was going to have to just cut off my hair because I couldn't figure out what was causing the breakage, how to stop it, and it was just getting worse. And I was just thinking I'm gonna have to cut off all my hair. So because of this thing that was causing my hair to break, I went from having hair that was slightly below my shoulders to having hair that is now above my shoulders because I had to get a pretty extensive cut because the breakage was so bad around my edges that you could see through my hair, and it made no sense to keep my hair looking long like that if it was going to be scraggly. So what was it that was causing my hair to break? Well, it's this little thing that you tend to see being talked about on different conversation threads, in Facebook groups, in blog posts and videos, blog posts like mine or videos like mine, that is said to help with breakage. It's protein. My hair was breaking because of protein. My hair had this little thing, but not so little thing, called protein overload. So our hair is made up of protein. And so everything we do when we take care of our hair, even if it's good things or bad things that we might do to our hair, just daily manipulating our hair, combing our hair, washing our hair, using heat on our hair, and even relaxing our hair, start stripping away some of that protein. So it's good to add some protein back to your hair. And so I would do protein treatments every now and then. I would use deep conditioners that would have protein in them to kind of add some of that back to my hair. But when you use protein on your hair, you need to balance it out with a lot of moisture. And that's something that I was doing, or thought that I was doing. What I ended up discovering as I was going through this whole thing where my hair was breaking off is that literally like 90% of the hair products I was using had a protein or two protein ingredients in them. And I'm talking even shampoos and leave-in conditioners that were all about quenching hair, moisturizing hair. They didn't even really talk about strengthening hair, but yet they had protein ingredients in them. So by using like a shampoo that had some protein ingredients, using a deep conditioner that I knew was a protein deep conditioner, and then using like a leave-in conditioner every day or multiple days between washes that had protein ingredients in it, I was putting so much protein on my hair that my hair just basically was like, I can't take it anymore. There's too much protein. I'm just gonna start to break off. So that is how my hair got protein overload, which simply put is when the protein moisture balance in your hair is imbalanced and there's more protein than moisture. Now, for the most part, it seems like protein overload happens little by little, and it's something that you don't even realize is happening until it's like gotten to a point that it's pretty bad. And that's what happened with me. Week by week, I was adding and using hair products that had bits of protein in them. So what clued me into the fact that I had protein overload? So it was a few things. There's like, I think about 6 or so symptoms that typically will let you know if your hair has protein overload. But the crazy thing is, some of these symptoms are things that you experience when just your hair is dry. You might experience them when your hair needs protein as well. So it kind of masks itself. And that's what happened with me. Like, I had a lot of these symptoms, pretty much the majority of them, but I thought it was things like my hair didn't have enough protein, or I thought it was I was just going through a period of dry hair. Why? I couldn't figure out, but it turns out it wasn't either one of those. It was that my hair had too much protein. So I'm going to read to you what these symptoms of protein overload typically are. And they're things like dry and brittle hair so that it breaks easily. Your hair will feel kind of rough and kind of like straw. You might see some extra shedding. You could have more tangles than you normally would. Your hair is stiff and overall lifeless, and it lacks a lot of shine. And pretty much everything here, except for like the extra shedding, like I really didn't have a lot of that. I had all of these symptoms. Like, my hair was dry and it was brittle, so it was breaking. I mean, I had hair breakage. I knew that. My hair was dry, like it would soak up certain products, particularly products that I ended up finding out had no protein in them. I was seeing that my hair was tangling, so it would take me a little longer to detangle my hair. My hair was definitely stiff and lifeless. Like, it would not blow in the wind. I didn't feel comfortable wearing my hair down because I just couldn't get it to hang properly. And my hair was looking stiff. It was definitely feeling straw-like. And I couldn't get it to like have any shine. Like, I was looking at pictures of my hair from like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, like over a year ago. And I was like, how did I get that shine and why don't I have it now? Overall, the texture of my hair changed. And even though it's been like a month and a half almost since I discovered that I had protein overload, I'm still seeing that like here, like the texture of my hair is a little bit different than over here. And that's because I'm still experiencing and going through trying to get rid of this protein overload to reverse it, essentially. Okay, so I've shared with you the symptoms of protein overload. I've shared with you how it happens. So you might even be thinking, hey, this could be a problem that I have. So what are some things that you can do to reverse it or fix your protein overload? Well, I'm going to share with you a few things that I've done. I'm not going to get too specific in terms of the products that I'm using or techniques, but these are basically things that you can universally do to help reverse protein overload if you think that's what's going on with your hair. The first thing you need to do, and this was one of the first things that I did, get rid of those hair products that have protein ingredients in them. And to know if your hair product has protein ingredients, it's kind of a little tricky because a lot of the ingredients are just straight up say, hey, I'm protein and I'm here. There are many different names for ingredients that are protein. So you'll want to look for ingredients that are keratin, yogurt, amino acids, biotin. You'll also find some that will say protein. It's usually like hydrolyzed something protein, like hydrolyzed wheat protein, hydrolyzed rice protein, hydrolyzed pea protein. You'll also have things like silk protein, soy or soy protein. Those are like typically the ingredients that you'll find in hair products that have protein in them. So what I did is I took those hair products, some of them I threw away because it was like, by the time I ever get back to using them, they won't be any good anymore, or I was almost out of it. So it's like, whatever, just throw it away. But the majority of them I took and put them aside in my bathroom, put them in another cabinet, and was like, I will bring them back in once I get to the point where I feel like I've gotten my hair to a place where it needs protein again, and I'm not overloaded with the protein. The next thing you need to do is find hair products that don't have protein ingredients in them. And believe me, I found out it's easier said than done. There are so many hair products out there that have protein ingredients in them. Even shampoos that talk about being moisturizing and hydrating. It's like somewhere down on that ingredient list is a hydrolyzed some protein or an amino acid. And I'm like, come on people, can't we just have protein-free hair products? After doing a lot of online searching, going to a few stores, I was able to find a couple of shampoos, a deep conditioner, and a couple of leave-ins that don't have protein ingredients in them. And so those are the things that have been able to save my hair. While my hair doesn't look like it's at its best right now, believe me, it's come a long way, and I actually feel very more comfortable wearing my hair down because these products have helped to infuse more moisture in my hair by not adding any more protein. Another thing to do with protein overload is to clarify your hair. Now, what this does is it helps to start stripping away and taking away some of that extra protein that's on your hair. I wouldn't say that you probably need to clarify every single wash day, particularly if you wash your hair once a week. For me, I've kind of been alternating between a true moisturizing shampoo that has no protein in it and a protein-free, sulfate-free clarifying shampoo. So I've kind of been going between the two of them every other week, and that has really been helping. And last but not least is to just focus on moisture, moisture, moisture. I can't say that enough, because what's happening is with protein overload, there is a moisture protein imbalance in the hair. And so to get the hair back into balance, you need to get more moisture added to your hair. And so that can be all kinds of things, such as making sure that, of course, all these products that you're using on your hair have no protein in them, but to use leave-in conditioners that are very moisture focused, Probably have water as one of the top first ingredients, and just moisturize and seal your hair. I was doing it daily, but moisturize and seal your hair as much as needed, making sure to deep condition with heat so that your hair is really being able to penetrate the deep conditioner. I've also been bagging my ends, which is essentially putting moisturizer or leave-in on my hair and then putting my ends in some kind of plastic bag or plastic cap and wearing that overnight so that my ends are just nice and moisturized in the morning. So when it comes to protein overload, it can happen slowly like it did for me over time, or it can happen shebang pretty quickly just by using one product that is a hard protein treatment and your hair just really didn't need it. Your hair had more than enough protein already and that just took it over the edge. It can happen any kind of way. But when it comes to protein overload, it's not something that you can just get rid of overnight. As of me doing this video, I've been dealing with it for a month and a half. And I'm still not completely at a point where I feel like I've overcome it. I've been able to reverse it, that my hair is back in a place where I feel 100% happy and feel like it's back on track, but my hair has gotten so much closer. So all I have to say is, if you feel like you're going through protein overload, if you're going through it right now and trying to get your hair back, believe me, you know, I totally get it. I totally get the frustration. But there is, I think it can happen. I think you can get your hair back to where it needs to be. Hopefully you won't need to do a cut like I did to start getting your hair back on track. But definitely focusing on those 4 things that I talked about, which is getting rid of the protein products for at least a while, however long that might end up being, however long it takes you to reverse the protein overload, making sure that you are using products on your hair that are protein free, clarifying your hair ever so often to help get rid of that excess protein, and then just focusing on the moisture, doing different techniques and using products that will really bring moisture back to your hair. Hopefully you were able to learn something in this video. If you learned something, if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, A Relaxed Gal, and be on the lookout for my next video, which I will see you in. Thanks for watching. Bye.